This is the makeup section for inferring. It's in the liquid, an observation and inference handout. What students did while you were gone was they took some blue liquid using a pipette. They don't know what the liquid is. Put it onto a plastic bag. This is after you've completed the first section of the handout, by the way. And your job is going to be find the section where you're supposed to make observations about the blue liquid. And I'm just going to move this around with a toothpick, and I'd like you to write down those observations. And see if I can get it to break into smaller pieces. Notice if you go kind of quick with the toothpick, you can get it to break into smaller beads. Some of your observations might include the shape, color, whether or not the blue liquid seems to follow the toothpick, okay, the kind of how I got it to break into smaller pieces. Notice that I can put them back together. So these kind of observations you would write in complete sentences on your handout, and then once you've done that, you're going to make some inferences about your observations. So let me just give you some examples real quick of what kind of inferences you can make. You could explain why the blue liquid follows the toothpick, or why you think it does. You could explain why it tends to be in a round shape. Notice I can change that shape a little bit, but when they're tiny, they really sort of stick to that shape. Okay, so why do they bead up, in other words? Why would it be blue? What substance do you think it is? Those kinds of things could be in your inferences. Pause the video so you can finish that section up, and then we will go on to the red liquid when you come back. I'm assuming you're back now because you want to see what happens with the red liquid. So I'm going to take about the same amount of the red liquid. I'm just going to move the blue liquid out of view for now, and I'm going to take some of the red liquid, use a pipette here, put about the same amount on, and you're going to do the same thing. You're going to make some observations about the red liquid. Notice how the red liquid behaves compared to the blue. Okay. Just sort of spreads out, doesn't follow the toothpick really well, doesn't bead up. Okay, so those kinds of things you'd have in your observations, again using complete sentences under the red liquid part, and then explain, why does it not bead up? Why doesn't it follow the toothpick as well? Why does it spread out on the plastic bag? Why is it red? What liquid do you think it is? Okay, those kinds of things could be in your inferences. Again, you're going to want to pause the video if you need to write more before we go on to the last section, which is, or the last observation section, which is mixing the two liquids. Okay, I'm assuming you're back now because you already have your observations and inferences down. The last section is where we're going to mix the two liquids. And the best way I found to do this is you're just going to take some red liquid, and I'm going to put it right on top of the blue, and I want you to look really carefully at what happens to the blue liquid. I'm going to start with just a drop or two. You can kind of see it vibrates, okay, changes the shape of it, and then seems to sort of get integrated into it. Maybe one more drop. Should be about the same of each now. And then, so you can write those observations down along with how it acts. And you can write those observations under the mix section. Now, you notice it kind of acts in between the two liquids, a little more probably like the red than it did the blue. Okay? And then your inferences might be, why does mixing the two liquids cause it to act more like the red? And you might have noticed it vibrated sort of when I mixed them originally. Why were there vibrations there in the liquids, etc. So thanks for taking the time to watch this video. You have enough to do your observations and inferences now, and then you can do the rest of the handout based on that. Thank you.